Hello and welcome back to another episode of FortressCraft Evolved. I am DreadedEntity, and we're starting off here today at the laboratory because I don't know if you guys remember, but quite some time ago we set up some stuff that will lead us to the end of the game. And I'm happy to report to you guys now that pretty sure we're done now. We're close to it. I am, of course, talking about the orbital energy transmitters. And let me count real fast to see how many we've got here. There's 2, 4, 6, 700. Okay, so that actually falls quite short of the amount that we needed. And I think what I had done is set up these hoppers to hold everything, all of the transmitters that we needed to build the OET. So first of all, let me get this moving again. Okay, so I added another 4 hoppers there, and that's because we have this refined liquid resin here. I've got, looks like 3 full hoppers, and then this one has 88. And that should, I believe, I counted out the exact number of resin we needed to build the OET. Now, you only have to build this once, so that's good for us. And so I'm just going to let this run and hopefully build the last couple hundred that we need. And that's fine, because there is something else we need to do. We really need to work on the defense. So let's hop over to the central power hub. I wanted to hop over here because if we take a look at the threat scanner, you can see what your threat rating is. Right now it's only about 2,000, just because we're not drawing a lot of power. And the way that this works is it's a function of how much power you're consuming per second. So if you can go into the holobase and kind of take a look. So we're only consuming, it looks like 800 power per second, so that's not very much at all. Now the way threat works is the higher you go, the more numerous and strong the mobs become. So you fight various types of wasps, and then you get the heavies, which are the big orange guys. And then there's even a further level after that. I think they're called bosses. And then there's even multiple levels of bosses. If you look at their eye colors, they're different. And while I was filming the last episode, trust me, I had a lot of time to check these guys out and watch them, and definitely the eye colors definitely correlate to how strong they are. A little bit of a tangent, but it kind of helps you get an idea of how the enemies actually work in the game. So going back to what I was saying before, the maximum threat level is 20,000. So once you get 20,000, then no matter how much power you create after that, at least this is how I understand it to work. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. You can make an infinite amount of power past 20,000, and it should never cause more enemies or stronger enemies to come, because, you know, of course, there are no stronger enemies. Another thing to note is they are overmines in the 4 corners of the world, and they're not on the cardinal directions, they're actually on the diagonals. So if you fly out that direction over towards where the resin farm is, eventually you'll run into an overmind. I know because I've seen it, and there's one in all 4 directions. So you have to charge up the OET 4 times to kill all the overminds. You don't actually have to do that. I believe you only have to destroy 1 to actually win the game. But the meta there, from my understanding, is to take out 3 of them, leave 1 alive, So you technically win the game, and you can still kill enemies for their drops. So that's probably something we're gonna do, and then we've technically beaten the game. But don't worry, because I do have the Frozen Factory expansion, and we're gonna just slide right on into that at the conclusion of the base game. So we have 20,000 as the max rating, and right now I can survive maybe about 12,000, which is actually not enough to keep my resin farm running at full power. And then as soon as you get a wave on top of that, then the power really goes out of control. It gets up to 18, 19. I've even seen max rating in the base that we currently have so far. So yeah, it's kind of a challenge to win those, and I often lose them. So today I'm going to try to solve that, and the way we're going to do that is by creating some missiles. So if you go into the defense tab, you'll find 4 machines related to creating missiles, and I've gone ahead and just gathered the materials already that we're going to need to make them, and I want to make one of each.
Crafting.
We are going to need more of these because you ideally you'd want to be able to fire at least 1 missile a second. I think is definitely the way to go, and that should make you very survivable at 20k threat. But we got to start off somewhere, and it's been like, man, it's been probably over a year, definitely. Maybe closer to a year and a half, even more. I don't even know, honestly, since we did this. And of course, that was all on stream. I was doing some streaming for a while on the channel, and let me play around with these, and we'll formulate a plan there for how we want to build this. And I might even actually, in between clips, go back and watch the stream just to see how I built that. So we got one of each machine, and let's put them down and see what they do. Missile assembler. Let's drop this guy, oh, like there. Space these out a little bit. Missile fueler next. Oh no, why do I have, oh no, never mind. I'm being dumb. Okay, so I put down all 4 of the machines, and I put a hopper next to them just so we can see what the inputs and outputs are. And it looks like the missile assembler takes a copper pipe and a gold wire, so we're gonna need a pipe making machine. Actually, I think I've got one right there. Yeah, I could scavenge that one. Maybe it's just better if I just make another one though. Once we have the empty missiles, then we need to fuel them, and that takes high energy composite fuel. Oh man, okay. So finally we're gonna have a use for the lab. We might have to move that then. And 1 empty missile. Then this isn't required. After you fuel the missile, you can fire it. But I don't think there's really a reason to, because you can imbue the warhead and it's free, right? Let me see. Yeah, so you need the imbued warhead before you can do the armor piercing. So at the very least, you should imbue the warhead because it just takes power, and this ups the damage like a crazy amount. I don't even remember how much it is. It's like, I literally don't even know. It's like more than 10 times the amount of damage or something. It's ridiculous. Like, these things basically will one-shot a boss on its own. Oh, and by the way, don't feel bad about wasting missiles, because you won't waste any missiles. The missile launchers, they won't even shoot at an enemy that cannot take the damage of the missile, right? So, like, don't feel like your turrets are gonna be bombing the hell out of a boss, and then your missile launcher is gonna shoot a missile at that boss, and you're gonna waste a missile on a boss that only has like 10 health left. Just as an example. I mean, that would obviously never happen, but it doesn't happen, basically. So basically, build these things as fast as you can, and keep your turrets supplied. Or I guess you really only need one turret? No. Hold on. I gotta build a turret. Hold on. Well, I didn't see it in the machine reference page. And I even checked the wiki. So this is the missile turret Mark 1. And what I was just looking for is, like, why does it say Mark 1? So I was trying to see if there was, like, a Mark 2 or higher, but I don't think there actually is one. So we got this guy. Right off the bat, notice that it doesn't seem to take any power, so that's good, because you need to have line of sight for this, of course, because it's a missile. And you really should have line of sight for the lasers too, but hey, anything that helps me, helps us, we like that. So we don't need line of sight, and that's really good for us. That's a win in my book. So, okay, also, that's right, I was looking at this, and the reload time is 15 seconds, guys. Okay, so if we wanted to shoot one missile per second, which I think is something we want to target, that means we're going to need 15 missile turrets, which is not a big deal because they really don't cost a lot. So, yeah, that's totally fine. The real challenge is building up the rest of the manufacturing process to actually supply one missile per second. And that might be overkill. I don't know, but that's what I want to do, and hopefully that's what we're going to get done in this episode. So, but let me know. Leave a comment for me if that's overkill. Do you need one missile per second, or what's the ideal, like, manufacturing rate for the missiles? Let me know down below. But that's what I'm going to be working towards now. So next thing I think we need to see is actually how long it takes. Can I do that from here, or do I have to actually... it just says 8 per second. It doesn't say how long. Okay, well, you know what? Let me look at the wiki first, and if needed, I might even trawl through my old streams and see how I built that setup. Because I actually remember we had a pretty good setup on the streamed world. So yeah, I'll get up with you in a little bit. Alright guys, so I've had a big think about this whole endeavor, and I checked the wiki, and the wiki didn't give me the info I was looking for. So then I went to the stream that I mentioned earlier, and spent way too long watching that. I can definitely see why you guys want that to come back, because I even got kind of lost in my own stream, and I'm the one that did it. Anyway, I think I have settled on the setup that we're going to use. It's actually the same one from the stream, and the way that works is we triple up on the basic, the empty missile assembler and the missile fueler. So we got 3 of those, and with that we should be able to make missiles at a rate of 1 every 2.5 per second. And the math really kind of works out there, because I checked out this the lab, the refinery, and with a 4 stack refinery, you can make the high energy composite fuel at 2.5 per second. So that's, that works out really well, because you need the fuel, of course, for the fueler. And then for the missile turrets, you can fire every 15 seconds, and if you just divide that by 2.5, then you get 6. So we only need 6 turrets. So you can see the math is really kind of working out here in our favor. And I've decided that I'm not going to do the imbuing at the start. And in the stream, we actually never even bothered to do the armor piercing, because it takes the stingers, and it would have been a whole thing, like, to set that up, so I didn't even do it. And I'm not even going to do the imbuer to start off with, because I don't think we're going to need it. The missile on its own, without being imbued, does 75,000 damage. So that's a lot. I just don't think we're gonna need it. So I guess without putting this off anymore, I kind of know what to do now, and I think I'm just gonna go build it. Okay guys, let me show you what I've done so far. I just built the first part of our assembly little station here, and the way this is working is this is tiled upwards 3 times, so they're all the same until you get to the end of it, and they just conveyor down into those the manufacturing, and the reason I had to do that is because you can't put those on top of each other. I'm pretty sure the solar panels won't work that way, so just had to spread them out horizontally over the ground. And we're gonna take in the copper and our gold bars here, and we're just gonna send the copper through the pipe extruder, and then we're gonna send the gold through the regular extruder. And out on the other side, we're gonna pop out the empty missiles here. So now, of course, the next thing I need is the missile fueler, and I'm gonna need 3 of those. So these are just gonna go probably straight into some more logistics hoppers like that. Make those remove only. And I'll put the fuelers right here behind the hoppers. Oh, no. That's not what I wanted to do. Right. So let me show you here. Over here, I've got the priority splitters, right? Not priority splitters. What was this thing called? Zipper merge. And what this does is it guarantees a 50-50 ratio coming out of the output, which is in the front. So you notice the arrow on top. The next item this is going to accept is going to be the gold wire, and then the arrow will flip over here, and then it won't accept the gold wire, it'll only accept the copper. And once the copper goes through, then that arrow will flip back, and then it can take the gold. So you can see how that works. So this is not what I wanted, because what I wanted to do here was actually merge in the fuel to actually get the fuel in. Oh man. But you know what? I might actually leave this, and I'm probably just gonna rebuild the lab like right here next to it. And I guess I could just feed in the fuel from the bottom. I don't know. We'll see. Give me a minute to build it, and I'll show you what I've done. By the way, I finally fixed the biomass ore vein, and I'm currently building a mine shaft with a lift. And the mine shaft is going to pop out roughly around here, so that's extremely convenient. And I'm just going to conveyor the biomass over to the refinery so we can build our missiles. Boy, do I have a funny story for you guys. So I thought the mine shaft was going to come out at -322. So I went ahead and put the lift controller here, and it actually came out at 322, which is over here, right in the middle of the gold line. So I ended up just building the refinery right here, right next to the missile crafting area, and I just routed the fuel under it into a separate hopper. I didn't want to mess with more splitters, so now I just need to put the missile fuelers down, and then I'm going to conveyor them over this way to get the infusion. Now those take a long time. It's like 60 seconds each, so that's crazy. In total, I need like 12 stations to reach our 2.5 second per missile output. And I don't even know if that's going to be enough, but you know, we'll see. We'll see what we need to do. Okay, I've built one imbuing station, I guess I can call it. This is a tileable design, and some of you that were watching the stream, you'll probably remember that this is the same design from the stream. I actually really liked it when I looked back on the video, and I thought this was really great because like it's tileable and it just works. Now, it is pretty expensive because you need a Mark IV and an organic Mark II solar for each one, so pretty pricey, but this should let me create all the missiles that I want. And just to show you guys, because I'm not going to do 12 in a line just because that would take so much space up, although I could certainly do that. I'm actually going to spread them out, so I'm going to have 3 groups of 4, and I just kind of built the belts out that way. So that's how this is going to work, and I just got to build it, and I'll get back in touch with you guys afterwards, and we can decide where we want to put our missile turrets down. Alright, I got the missiles coming in finally, and here's how I've set up the actual missile launchers. I'm really hoping that this actually has enough throughput. If not, I can set them up in like a cross pattern and maybe use a hopper to do like a cross and then like a dash. You know what I mean? If not, if this doesn't work, I'll show you what I mean. And I thought I was in a time crunch because there was an attack coming, and I looked at my threat scanner and it was at like 17,000, and that's all from creating the missiles. Because I mean, remember, there's 12 Mark IVs now that are getting filled up with Mark II solars, organic Mark II solars, so that's generating a lot of power. Okay, it looks like we actually do have a wave coming on this side. So, oh look, here's some heavies and some bosses. So let me skip forward a little bit and show you guys what kind of damage these missiles do. Oh, that was awesome. Okay, so apparently these need power.
More energy needed. Your base is up.
Alright, well, we lost that wave. And, that's because these missile turrets take power, but they don't say anything about needing power. So I didn't give them power. So, note to you guys, these missile turrets need power. They don't do anything. So I'm gonna need to come up with something else. Alright, here's what I was talking about the cross and the dash configurations for the missiles. So if you look up from above, you know, this looks like a cross or a plus, and then this one looks like a dash. So, and I got the power coming in from an induction charger below, and I just have an organic solar panel right there that should give plenty of power, and if it doesn't, I know an easy way to get more, and that is, of course, to just put more solar panels on and around the induction charger. So, let me just conveyor up the missiles to these hoppers, and we should be good to go. Oh, I do need to actually put one more hopper to split between these two. And we should be good then. While I'm waiting, I discovered this field of bug parts over in this one hive mind, overmind direction. Sorry. And I just thought that was pretty funny. I wanted to show you guys. Now, this happens, of course, because of the spider bot with the weapons killing stuff out here, and then pristine drops never disappear, so pristine drops will always sit around, and I guess I just never come to this corner because I mean there's nothing here, so yeah, I just don't come to this corner. So I guess I better collect these things, and that reminds me, we're actually gonna need a solution to pick up all these bug parts eventually. So, let me know how you guys handle that. Just leave it for a comment. Leave it in a comment for me down below. And I want to take a look at them and see what you guys do. see if I can copy one of your setups. So let me know and we'll build it. And I'm kind of annoyed that we lost that wave because the timer is at 11 minutes for a new wave. And my threat is at 12,000 though, so that's actually really good because once the wave starts and my turrets start going and the missiles start popping off, then we should easily get up to 20,000 threat again. I've even turned on the resin farm so you can actually see some of the soft resin coming in now, just to make sure that we get up to 20,000. So anyway, I'll skip ahead. You don't have to wait this 10 minutes with me, guys. And we'll see if everything's working. By the way, this is how I conveyored up the missiles. You have to go up and then down because the missile launchers do require line of sight. And I just don't want them blocked with the conveyors. So, alright, I will see you guys in a little bit and we'll see if this actually works or not. Well, we're at 20,000 threat and we are doing just fine. These bugs can't even get close. And I'm glad that I changed over the missile turrets to this configuration because I was kind of worried that in the way we had it before, where it was the line of turrets, I was kind of worried that the missiles weren't actually going to reach the ones that were further back to shoot in time. But now I'm kind of thinking maybe that wasn't even a problem after all, because we're not even shooting missiles every 2.5 seconds here. So I think we're good. And I mean, we're easily clearing these waves now. We've got nothing to worry about. So I think we're done. And base is defended now. So there you go. Hope you guys learned something about missiles and threat and how the enemies work in FortressCraft Evolved. Make sure you guys like the video if you liked the video, dislike it if you didn't like it. Get subscribed if you're not. And I will see you guys in the next one.